I already have everything on screen, but we can just give it a few minutes for people to tune in.
Yeah, sounds good.
What was it? I think I had it called as League, League. That way people can do the sign up. There we go. Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you could just give us a few minutes here, getting the socials out. Just want to make sure as many people can get the message as possible here. This is as good as I can get it to look. I thought I could try and full screen just a page, but this is, I think, as good as I can get it. Whoops. There we go. I think that looks fine. I can read everything on the
Yeah, it
screen.
looks it's not too bad. I think it should be okay.
All right. People are trickling in. How about we go ahead and talk about a little of this? So this is our announcement, the Winter Gauntlet 2025 Sacrifice League.
Yeah, really excited to be doing this one. I think oh, did I lose you? I might have
No,
had
I'm
a
here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, excited for this one. I guess I kind of jumped in on you because I was listening to your stream and you, so I had to turn that volume off. But yeah, no, this is Winter Gauntlet 2025. If you want to talk, I guess first thing probably prize pool, and then we can get into the format maybe.
Yeah, so we had an anonymous donator, a really nice guy who donated $2,000 and wanted to see a SAC tournament. So we're going to go through with that. And we've turned it into a bit of a league. It'll be a short league. It won't be too long, just a couple weeks, essentially the entire month of February. But yeah, it's going to be a great time and a pretty decent prize pool altogether.
Yeah, we went ambitious with this one, and I think it warrants that. We've had some really solid draft events, and I think we've kind of maxed out the potential of like how we do those 1 day draft events. They're really fun and they're good. But we heard some feedback. People wanted to try to maybe potentially play some scrims with their team, do an event that's maybe a little bit longer, and have some more control over potentially who they play with. So for this one, it is, as Hickory said, we're going to do the month of February for the regular season. So it'll be, depending on signups, 3 to 4 weeks of those regular season matches. And then we'll have that playoffs at the end, which will be more like the single day tournaments that we normally do. Um, what we're doing for the team control is we're going to allow people to name one player that they would potentially like to team up with. It's not a guarantee that you'll definitely get to play with that person. We are going to try to accommodate as much as possible. The tricky thing with this is without seeing the actual player list, it's hard to say if we can definitely accommodate everything. Like if two players that are super high skilled or super low skilled sign up and then the rest of the pool is kind of at a different median range than them, it may be difficult to accommodate. But I think with if we have similar signups to what we've had in the last couple, we should be able to make a lot of accommodation there. And then from there, that duo group would kind of function as the team captain where they draft the other two people. And by the way, you do not have to name a second person that you want to play with. We are going to need some people to sign up as individuals too, so that's perfectly fine. But I think the priority is we want to make sure the teams are still balanced. I think we've done a good job of that in the previous events of getting teams matched up as evenly skilled as possible. Um, and I think this gets us closer to more of eventually be great to have like a set team event where you can sign up with four people. But I think the tricky part is really strong players congregate, it dissuades other people. So this is a way to step in that direction while keeping it balanced for everybody. So I think that's the gist of it being that sign up with an individual's name. You would both need to name each other. So you can't like write down, I want to team up with Rafa. and he doesn't put you down and then I'm going to pair you. That's not how it works. You two have to kind of be in communication that you both want to play with each other, and then we're going to work to make that happen, matching it up with the player pool to make sure that it makes sense. So we're kind of going to salary cap the teams where everybody's ranked based on past results, pug results, um, past tournaments, and then make sure that everybody's team kind of adds up to a similar sum total. But without seeing the full player pool yet, that's why some of these things are subject to change. Like we're going to do regular season matches in the month of February. If we get just 8 teams, which would be fantastic, that'd be 3 weeks, and then we go into playoffs. If we get more, that's even better. But then we would need that fourth week in February to do another week of matches. So some of these details here are a little bit TBD up until we get that list and we can figure out how we're going to do the team assembly and all of that good stuff. But I don't know if are there any questions so far, Hickory, in the chat or anything that I
Yeah,
left out in the
just a
initial?
few. Is Friendly Fire going to be on? Are we going to change any of the in-game options, so to speak?
So for this one, no, we're not going to do friendly fire, but that does bring up a good point on some of the differences between past tournaments. So for this one, we've typically done the 5 map pool, do Blood Covenant, Burial Chamber, Ruins, Tempest, and Lockbox, and that's usually been the standard 5 maps we use. We're still going to do that, and for the playoffs and the grand finals, that'll be the map pool. But during the regular season, there are going to be weeks where we're rotating in, rotate one of those maps out and then rotate another map in for the regular season. We are going to keep it at 5 maps so we can still do pick ban. So if you really want to play Tower of Koth and it's in the rotation that week and your team likes it, then you will be able to pick that during regular season. And also same thing with Cursed Soul. Yeah, and I think that's an exciting change to just get some difference in there. I know people want to play it. I think Bargo will be happy being able to uh, get some Cursed Soul matches in.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
And
so Velshu has a question. He says Discord name and signups wants an email address, not the Discord name. Is that a bug or is that how it's supposed to be?
oh yeah, that's probably a bug on the form. We're getting some edits made in there right now, so thanks for pointing that out. We'll
Okay,
fix it to
okay.
be your Discord name.
And Vidge is asking, so again, just to reiterate, the starting prize pool is $2,000. So it's going to be quite a bit of money. Hopefully we get a little more, but still $2,000 is quite a bit for us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, $2,000 is a good little chunk of change for one of these events. Usually we're starting off with 500 or 700, and then obviously the community's really good about donating and buffering that up a little bit. But this one, already starting at 2K, I think is the biggest one, in
Someone's
virtually.
asking about the percentage breakdown. How would
Yeah,
you like to do that? Are we going to do like we did last time where it's 60-40, 60 first place, 40 second place?
I think, I can't remember the exact number breakdown. It was breaking down to 1,200, 400, 200. I can't remember what it was, but it's 60%. It was 60% for first. And then let me tell you, I'll pull up the thing real quick. 1,200, 600, 200 is how we had it. So yeah, 60, 30, 10. 60%, 30%, 10%.
Okay, 60-30-10. We can do that for you, Acid. How about Citadel? Have you thought about maybe throwing in Citadel? We played it just the other week and thought it had at least some potential.
Hadn't thought of that one yet. Have to look at the length of the season and everything too. I don't want it to go too crazy, but potentially. I think right now in mind, I definitely had those two in mind, but yeah, we can kick that around as we're getting the full sign up list, and that'll tell us more about, I'll be able to be more firm on the dates. And but I will say this will all be wrapped up by mid March. We're not going to drag this out super long. By March 15th, this tournament will be wrapped up. If we can do it earlier than that, we will. I do want it to have, at least a few weeks so you guys can play some matches and get some team chemistry going, maybe get some scrims. If we had that 8 team list, or if it ends up being 10 or whatever, we're going to have the division A, division B. They're going to round robin. Those four teams will face each other in those first 3 weeks. Those four teams will face each other, and then you can scrim and practice against a team that's in the other division who you won't have to face until the playoffs. At least that's the initial thought right now. Now if we end up getting a ton more signups, we may have to adjust that a little bit, but that's where we are, at least initially. Once
And
we have
oh, go
Oh,
on,
sorry.
go on.
I was going to say, once we have all that stuff by the end of this month when signups close, then this rule set will all be finalized and much more clear on exactly what we're doing. And worst case scenario, guys, if we, for whatever reason, the duo thing, we're not able to get the duos how we want it, worst case, we'll just do the regular draft like we have been doing. I think we've got that pretty much down pat at this point. So we will be doing, a multi-week league type tournament one way or another. And I think the duos thing will work out. But just to throw that out there, I think we'll definitely have a good little chunk of matches over the month of February either way.
Yeah, it'll be great. So signups will close on January 27th. What about the draft itself? Is that something, are we just going to announce it to everyone a couple days before the 31st, or how's that going to work exactly?
Yeah, it'll be, I think it's probably going to be right after signups close. So probably the 31st is a Friday, I think would be a good day to do it on. Um, that's my tentative date for having that stuff done. But it could be the 30th, the day before. Maybe people want to start scheduling their match. So I don't want to say firmly, but it'll be in that range of the 30th to February 1st, something like that. We'll have teams picked. That way, people can go into the following week where they're scheduling their matches, knowing who they're playing with.
Okay. Sounds good. I don't have any more questions. I don't see any more questions. If there's anything else you'd like to say, we can go ahead and say that now.
Oh, right. Last thing that I think is important, both teams will be scheduling their matches with each other. So you guys are going to be trying to come to consensus on what day and time of that week you're going to be playing your match. So this should allow a greater pool of players to play because it's not one of those where, oh, I'm busy that Saturday, so I just can't play the tournament. It's something where your team can figure out your availability and coordinate with the other team. However, there will be a default day and time if you guys aren't able to do it. I haven't finalized what that is yet because, again, I want to see the player pool. I know that there's probably going to be some EU players playing in here. It may be something where we just have the admins come up with the day and time if there's nothing agreeable and make some kind of ruling there. But we will figure it out so it's not up in the air. I'd like it to be where, just like we do in the tournaments, where it's like if we can't figure out what server, we're doing East. If we can't figure out the day and time, it's Saturday at 2 p.m. Something like that. But we will have that all set and in order by the time we get the list and the draft going.
I think you kind of just answered this. Uxmos is asking how will admins rule if teams are dragging their feet on match scheduling. And I think it's just going to be we're going to have we'll just have a standard set in time that we'll be playing the games if anything starts to become an issue.
For sure. And guys, the other thing is too, I really want to make sure that we get to play these matches. I really don't want it to have to be an issue, which is why we're coming up with some kind of default for you guys. I want it to be as accommodating as possible. At the end of the day, the biggest thing for these is to have fun and do something that's competitive that we all enjoy. And I would like to do another one of these. I wouldn't even mind having another one, same starting prize pool if this goes smoothly. And I don't mind putting up the money for that myself. If we can get everybody working on this one and it works out well, I'd be really happy to continue doing them. So I appreciate, I think everybody did an awesome job on the last one. All the captains, all the people who participated, everybody was accommodating on time. They showed up for their matches. We didn't really have any issues. So I'm really excited for this one. And I think we can have a great little league event and keep moving in this direction if all goes well.
Yeah, they've been a lot of fun so far. Hopefully, we can get a whole nother year out of them. It's just been great to be able to consistently do these over the past few months.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, big thank you to Church of Quake, all the donors, all the players and captains. And I'm really excited to be jumping into this with everybody.
Yeah. And I will try and cast as many as I can. Maybe we can talk to Leadhead or Rob and see if maybe they could cast on their Shaftastic. But hopefully we can have these broadcasted as much as possible throughout the league as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I know CXD said he can cover some also. So, well, but between the people in the community, hopefully we can get good coverage on a lot of these matches and have some exciting stuff. I know it's tough for you guys when it's all in a day. A marathon of casting can be pretty rough, but if you got, one or two a night, maybe not so bad. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. I'm not seeing any more questions in chat. If anyone does, please do, post them, but I'm not seeing anything. If there's anything else you'd like to address. But I think we covered just about everything. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, if you guys have other questions, feel free to ping me directly. Let me know. Like I said, some of this stuff I can't fully answer until we see the player pool because again, I do want to make sure that teams can be as balanced as possible while also keeping it fun and letting people try to play with some of the people that they want to play with within reason. So yeah, that's all I've got.
And I guess just real quick, I will be making Discord channels in Church of Quake, so if y'all do have questions after this, it'll be easy to ask those and we can answer them. But I think if that's it, we can sign off. Thank you so much for all your work, Drip.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, and hopefully we'll get a good amount of signups by January 27th. We'll just be keeping an eye on everything.
Sounds good. Thanks, Hickory. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Real quick, Zebra, thank you for the sub, and also Acid, thank you for the sub. And again, you can go to our Discord, guys. I'll have two channels there. They're private right now. Like I said, after this, I'll get the articles up. We'll just get all those socials going. That way, y'all can do it. Right now, the pinned message is a sign up form. So do remember, you have to talk to your partner. It doesn't matter how that happens. Just make sure you double check with someone that they actually want to be in the tournament and then sign both of yourselves up. And that's really all you have to do. But thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Who am I going to raid? How about... I'm going to send you guys to Avbz. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Avbz Espv. AVBSPB. I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's go ahead and make this guy's day. And again, guys, pin message to sign up, or you can go to our Discord. I'll have those channels up here very shortly. But have a great night, guys. We'll see you later.